Today I've been checking out Knight Raider, which is currently $4.99 on Steam, but you can grab it with 15% off at the moment. This is an Escape from Tarkov cross with Zero Sievert. It's an extraction exploration shooter game where you go into a city filled with zombies, loot the buildings, and then get the hell out. You also need to scavenge supplies for your base so you can upgrade and craft while you're in there. It's made by a solo developer, and I was surprised to see it wasn't in early access. However, the dev is super active at responding to things, which is great to see. I would also say if you liked Zero Sievert but found it a little bit too unforgiving and hard, this is a more fun and easier game to get into. The action takes place in that kind of isometric view. You can loot weapons, food, clothes, decorations, ammo, and much, much more. Each time you load into the map, it's slightly different. So the buildings will be in like different places, and therefore what you're going to find when out there is also a little bit different. One thing I didn't like about the looting is the shelves and stuff just show generic items, so you have to search everywhere, which gets a bit tedious because there's so much to search, and half the time I was just getting a bit bored and skipping things by the end. However, once you are full of loot, you call in the chopper, which will land at a random location and attract loads of zombies. So you usually have to run like 100, 150 meters, get there, and then take off, and you have like 2 or 3 minutes to do it. So in the world, there are certain items which if you find, you can then level up the map and it'll get a little bit more difficult and you'll unlock new buildings and areas. The actual map design though, when you press the M key, is awful. It really needs improved. It looks like someone just made it on paint. It's not very good. However, the general map, once you're in the game world, looks good. It's decent. The assets are pretty well placed. However, it never felt lived in. I would have liked to see more debris, wrecks and stuff, bodies lying around, so you really felt like you were inside a zombie outbreak. And the final thing I found a little bit annoying about looting was that your keys are one-time use, and they just like vanish as soon as you use them. I think it should have maybe had like a Tarkov usage limit so you can use that key 20 times on that building. AI is obviously not too important in a game, as it's zombies, but obviously they are a bit brain dead and the AI isn't great. There are raiders in the game. As you level up, they pose a much greater risk, but the zombies don't really pose a risk. I think they could really do have been buffed a little bit, or the ammo used and being buffed against them, so they're a bit harder to kill. The home base area for you to upgrade is interesting, but I don't think it matched Zero Sievert. It didn't feel alive or lived in. Like there's no like NPCs running around going on missions and stuff. I think it could have been presented a little bit differently, and it would have been nice to have some tasks and say like the NPCs there say, right, go out and get me 50 bullets or 50 this or a new pair of trainers or something, so you could interact a little bit more. Also, I found the crafting mechanic and the way you get materials to be a little bit too grindy, and the information wasn't presented very well, I didn't think. Also, the tutorial's just a wall of craft. I think the onboarding could have been way better in this area and maybe give you some items to craft some things just to talk you through your first raid, how you craft and stuff like that. But apart from that, it was nice to see a little bit of a hub area that you could go to and upgrade. The gunplay and customization of the guns is really fun. Like to customize, you take the gun in the inventory and you can add like all the different attachments on, like sights and grips and stuff like that. Very easy to do. And again, with armor, you can put like armor plates in to improve it. There are grenades, there's flares, there's medical supplies, pistols, rifles, shotguns, loads of different types of ammo, and I found them really fun to use. The guns felt really impactful, and I really enjoyed the combat in this game. I think for the price, this is almost a must-buy. I didn't really find anything super negative about it. Yeah, I think it needs better onboarding. The economy looked at because it was a bit unbalanced, and it needs quite a few quality of life improvements. Plus, the use of NPCs would make it flow a little bit better and make it feel more alive. But for less than a $5, you'll get a good 4 to 5 hours of content here. It's nowhere near a finished product. But for that price, for that hours, I don't think you can go too far wrong. So anyway, guys, that's all I have to say on the matter. I'll catch you later. Goodbye.